So, all right, moving on to the next topic at hand, and still on the topic of Nintendo. Nintendo has big ambitions, which I misspelled on the top apparently, for 2018. I just realized that. I forgot to add the B.
They have ambitions, guys.
So this was reported off the Business Insider, written by Edor. I cannot pronounce this. Maggio. I also shortened it to Ed. Nintendo's president said the Switch is a console with a long lifespan. Nintendo has big ambitions for 2018. In a recent interview with Japanese newspaper Mainichi, which we saw via Nintendo Everything, Nintendo's president Tsutsumi Kishima said that the second year of a successful Switch will be crucial, and the console has a long lifespan. After closing 2017 with great momentum and a whopping 10 million units sold, which the company wants to bring to 14 million before the fiscal year closes in March. I think they'll make that easily. Nintendo said that next year's target is even more ambitious: 20 million Switch consoles sold. That's what they're aiming for. To do so, the Japanese firm plans to keep on doing what it does best, which is a mixture of popular first-party franchises such as Super Mario, The Legend of Zelda, as well as family games from both its own development studios and external partners. One of Nintendo's objectives this year, Kishima said, will be expand the console's user base to those who had never touched game machines too much, other than the traditional gamers. And I'll link this in the chat.
I'm super excited about hearing this because, you look at, you're showing all Nintendo 64 stuff, but I wanted to bring up that, you look at the Wii and you look at its major success, and from my personal experience working at Walmart in the electronics section when the Wii was, had just released and was extremely popular, we couldn't keep it on the shelves. The biggest problem that we had was we couldn't sell games.
Yeah, that was a huge issue.
The only time games ever sold on that thing was if it was a first party title. Third party titles never sold on the Wii, and hell, barely first party titles for that matter. Like, games did not sell very well on the Wii at all. So when the Wii U came out, games sold very well. But here was the flip side: the Wii U itself did not sell as well.
Yeah.
It didn't sell poorly because it sold well enough, but it did not meet, the expectations that they wanted. Certainly not with, like, the Switch. But with the Switch, here's what makes the Switch so brilliant. It is the Wii, the Wii U, and the 3DS, actually just DS for that matter, the best things about those three consoles wrapped into one console.
Yeah.
I don't think I will ever pick up my 3DS again unless there's an exclusive 3DS title that I want to play. I plan on buying all the Inti Creates games on my Switch because every game that I have on my 3DS I can get on my Switch. They have Kirby and Yoshi coming out this year. I'm very, very excited for what they have planned, and the point that I'm getting at, the whole point of what I'm talking about here is, the Switch, to be successful, needs to come out with a lot of stuff. Here's
the thing. I'll kind of butt in here.
Go ahead, because I'm trying to figure out what I want to say.
So to add on to that, every good console, the one thing that always makes or breaks the consoles is the games. You can have the greatest features in the world of a console, but if you don't have the games to back it up, nobody's buying.
Here's Anthony, where I'm going to kind of stop you there, because I would agree with you 98% of the time. The Switch is a different story, because I can promise you right now, having Netflix, it has Hulu, it has
that's true.
Having
that's
all
true.
these
Yes.
fucking video apps,
yes, that's true.
Will sell consoles. They will. It just straight up will.
That's very true. You're right. You're not wrong on that. And yeah, it's definitely in this modern age, everything in terms of the consoles, like they have like these video apps that people use on a daily basis, regardless. Even without the console, Just having it there is very convenient, and people will use it.
Damn it. God damn it, Josh. Not now.
Yeah, for those in the chat, Josh is messing with Greg, so.
I told them all that story last night, so they're all, it's fresh in their head. Um, anyway, I think that, like, for me personally, and I liked the Wii, I liked the Wii U. I thought that what the Wii did was that weird Nintendo thing that nobody else was doing, and it sparked like Microsoft and Sony to like, well, we got to do motion controls now too. Um, and
Yeah.
um, people are like, oh, well, Microsoft was working on the Kinect long before the Wii released their thing, and I go, but here's the thing: is that the development for the Wii started before the Kinect. Like, so you can say that, but at the end of the day, Microsoft was after them because they knew it was going to be a big thing.
Oh yeah, that was a total, I wouldn't say cash grab, but that was totally them saying like, oh, motion controls are next best thing. That's the money where it's at. Let's do that. And then Microsoft and Sony followed, and they don't use it anymore.
well, and there's a reason, because gamers in general don't really enjoy motion controls. Just as a whole, it's not a super big popular thing. However, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey have motion controls. Don't require motion controls.
Yes, that's big. That's big. Putting an option to not have to use the motion controls is huge. Could you imagine the Legend of Zelda game, Breath of the Wild, with only motion controls? Like,
I mean,
that,
I played Skyward Sword, so yeah.
I'm just saying, people would have been very divided on that. I think that's.
Oh, I don't think Breath of the Wild would have been.
It would have been universally praised. Yeah.
Yeah. It absolutely would not have been. People would have been against it very much so. But like the fact that the Wii fans and the GameCube fans and the N64 fans and the Wii U fans can all play the same game and have similar experiences while playing it differently is one of the most genius things I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
You keep showing, like, you have this N64 reel going up, and I want to point out that that's another huge thing that'll sell consoles, and I sincerely hope that happens this year. Is all of a sudden they're just like, hey, boom, here's all these virtual old school titles from the N64, the Super Nintendo, the NES, the GameCube.
I'm waiting for that to happen. I'm very much waiting for them to say, because they've said nothing about the virtual console or anything like that. The only thing they said and then backed away from was that there's going to be a monthly game that you get to play for a month and then decide whether you're going to buy or not. And it's like two classic games.
So what? Okay, so first and foremost, like that is incorrect. As long as you have the service, you're always able to play that game during that month. So, for example, the games with gold that's on Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
If I lose gold, every game that I've ever downloaded through games with gold goes away.
And that's
going to be the same thing with Nintendo.
Okay.
So as long as you have the service and you've downloaded that specific old school game, you'll be able to keep playing it as long as you have the service.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. That's good to know, because for the longest time I haven't heard anything virtual console or anything online. I remember hearing that they delayed it to.
Yes, they delayed the launch till later this year, but
so yeah, it's still free online, but
and when it comes out, it'll be $20 a year.
Mm-hmm.
When you look
which
at
is really good compared to the other consoles. Yeah, it's really good. I'm just like wondering, as far as I just want to know, like, I want to know what they plan for, and then in terms of like them saying they want to put out more popular franchises every year, which they already do to some degree, and then more family games, kind of harkens back to the kind of the Wii era of like, and Wii U era to some degree, where like it's family focused.
You know how you make a bunch of people happy? Nintendo, all they have to do is go, hey, you remember that Yoshi game and the Kirby game that we showed off? Well, they're going to be coming out this year, which we know the Kirby one is.
Yeah.
but the Yoshi one needs to come out. And then at E3 they go, hey, remember how last year we announced Prime 4?
Yeah, I was
Well,
gonna
now we
say.
have footage of it, and guess what? You can play it however you want. You want to play it like the original Primes? Go right ahead. You want to play it like Prime 3 where it was on the Wii and you had the Joy-Con and like you use the
That's
stick to
true. They
look
could
around?
do that. Yeah, I can
Or
think
do
of
you
that.
want to play it like a Halo? Then you play it like a Halo.
Is
That will be a fucking game breaker right there.
I forgot who was making Metro Prime 4. It wasn't Metro Studios, was it? Was it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I might have been some other company I can
Looking
think
it
of.
up right now. But yeah, like that's, I mean, Nintendo.
Nintendo is in the like they are not only are they in the money, but the ball is in their court. Now the question is,
Absolutely.
can they slam dunk it? Not to say they're already done already, but can they slam dunk it even more with what they got? Can they maintain this momentum as it said in the article? So time will tell, but Nintendo is sitting, I think, on top of the other two companies. I think.
Absolutely.
Guesstimation.
Like
Guesstimation.
I've never
Guesstimation.
been more infatuated with a console than I have the I've never been infatuated with a console. My entire like mentality of buying a console has always been I want the exclusives, or this is the console all my friends are playing on. When I
Right.
saw the Switch, and since I've had the Switch, I'm happy that I have the console.
Yes.
Like I've never truly felt that way.
Yeah. It's they're killing it. They really are just hitting it out of the park. Oops, wrong video. Did I forget to hang on? Let's see. Let me see. This might be the right one. Yeah, I think it is.